My vision was still mainly blocked by the medium-sized mass of bodies, but I could see that there was something fairly large in the middle of them all, rising just slightly above the heads of the gathered crowd and standing perfectly still. I reached the cluster of people, now large enough to make it difficult to get through, to the point where I had to go on tiptoe to get a clear view, and that was the moment that I became one of the first few hundred people on Earth to get a look at the stone man. Of course, it didn't have a name then. I'd like to tell you that I was the one who came up with it, but I'm afraid that would be a lie. As you may know, I was one of the people who really brought it into the common parlance worldwide, but I'd actually overheard it being used on a random local radio station as Paul and I raced through Sheffield later on, obviously more on that to come, and thought it was perfect. But I'd never actually intended to rip it off. By the point I was in front of the cameras, I'd used it so often that I'd forgotten that it wasn't a common term at the time. It stood at around 8 feet tall. To my eyes, at least, the Home Office can give you the exact measurements, and it made me think then, as it does now, of the man logo on a toilet door, if someone were to make one out of rough, dark, greyish-brown stone and then mutate it so the arms were too long and the head was more of an oval than a circle. The top half of its body was bent slightly forward as well, but the biggest departure from the toilet picture was that this figure had hands, of a sort. Its arms tapered out at the ends, reminding me of the tip of a lipstick. The most intriguing thing was there was also an extremely quiet sound emanating from it. The best way I can describe it is as a bass note so low as to be almost inaudible. They still haven't figured that one out. Now that I was closer, I could hear what one of the ranting people was saying. It was the woman, stood about 10 feet away from me in the inside of the circle of gathered people. Based on the distance between the crowd, herself, and the stone man, it looked to me as if she was the reason they were hanging back from the hulking figure, and not swarming forward to touch and prod it.